Hey folks, Deano here again. This time taking a quick look at something that I've known existed for a while, but just recently my local Tesco, which is like a supermarket chain in the UK, kind of like Walmart to Americans. But yeah, they recently started stocking these guys. So yeah, most of them I wasn't really bothered about. They didn't look the greatest and stuff. But when I seen Trunks, I needed to get him just for the pure fact that, as far as I'm aware, this is the only figure of Trunks from the Goku Black Arc with the normal Super Saiyan hair. Like, literally every single figure, even figuarts and Dragon Stars, they all use the Super Saiyan Rage form and just call it Super Saiyan. Like, even games like Dokkan Battle tend to use the Rage mode as like his normal Super Saiyan, which it's bonkers, honestly. But yeah, let's enough with my rant. Let's have a quick look at the packaging. So these are literally 10 quid figures. They're not expensive at all, so you wouldn't expect collector's grade packaging with them. So it's literally just clamshell. Unfortunately, you do have to rip the box to get it open. Super Saiyan Trunks inside, Dragonball Evolve, and a picture of Trunks there. Actually, really nice picture of Trunks. But yeah, ages 4 plus, wouldn't recommend getting this for kids. It tends to pop apart, just for the sheer hell of it. But yeah, in this set you had Gogeta, Trunks, and Ultra Instinct Saiyan Goku, which looks like they cheaped out on it because they're clearly just using the full Ultra Instinct body with a repainted head. But yeah, the Tesco I went into, it was strange. They had this guy from this set of figures, but then they had Beerus and Super Saiyan Blue Vegeta. So yeah, not sure what's going on there. I think they're just getting in whatever figures are available to order from whatever site they're buying them from, or wherever the manufacturer is. But yeah, having a look at the figure himself, he's pretty decent. The hair is more matte than I thought it would be. From the back of the packaging and from others' reviews, it kind of looked a bit metallic. So yeah, kind of disappointed that it's sort of this mustard yellow, not gonna lie. But yeah, all the details are there and such. Not a whole lot of paint to speak of, to be honest. I think the only bit that's actually painted apart from the hair is that one scratch on his leg. Yeah, the Capsule Corp logo has been painted, albeit a bit poorly. But yeah. Yeah, he's pretty decent. And for those of you wondering how he compares to figuarts, because that's the one thing no one on YouTube seems to have done with this guy, is compare him. And all in all, he's a little bit on the short side. Here he is with the Goku and Vegeta that kind of match that arc. So yeah, he's a little bit on the short side. Here he is with the Legend Creation Trunks. So yeah, as you can see, he's a little bit on the short side. I would say his scale is about the same as the 1.0 Future Trunks that we got back in the day. He's on display can't be bothered getting him off, because he's all posed up and stuff. But yeah, I mean, a bit of futzing in the display, and he would probably not look out of place at all, to be completely honest with you. Because the Legend Creation one is taller than it should be. Obviously, this isn't taking into account the new 3.0 trunks that we got. I didn't think there was any point in comparing against him, because that figure just towers over everything. But yeah, he does come with a sword as well. It's the only accessory he actually comes with. For some reason, it's almost the same size as he is. So, not sure what's going on there. That's way too oversized. I think this is actually bigger than the figuarts one. Which, yeah. At least the full sword fits into the sheath. But yeah, even if you look at that sheath, I don't know what they were thinking when they made that. Holy God. Yeah, the figuarts sheath is actually smaller. Oh man. But yeah. In terms of articulation for a 10 quid figure is actually quite good. You can get him into a lot of poses, and he does hold it well. In terms of the neck, it's just a standard ball peg. The neck does not move, but you can look side to side. The neck scarf does get in the way, but you can get him to look reasonably well. The arms are a bit limited. For some reason, they've got these sort of caps to hide the joint, but all it really does is make it 10 times harder to pose, because the caps are really tight. But he can swivel all the way. He can go out of it that far before it stops. Bicep swivel. Single joint at the elbow, gets 90. And he has a hinge and swivel at the wrist, which does come out easy enough. It's just a peg. You can just swap with other evolved figures in the line if you want to give him fists or open key blast hands and such. The chest does move slightly. For some reason, the real belt that's attached to the sword sheath only goes that far, and then it's painted on the rest of the way, which is a completely different colour of green. Not sure why they went that route. I suppose if you're not looking out for it, then it wouldn't really bother you. He does have waist swivel, which does also move down slightly in conjunction with the abs, so you can look down that far. Can't really look up any at all. You can kick forward perfectly fine. These are very strange joints. He can do the full splits. If you look here, even though they look like figuarts 3.0 joints, they aren't. They've just got a ball peg that goes through it, so it can go out and go forward and back a little. So yeah, the design's simple, but it works really well. Actually surprisingly so. And then you look at figuarts whose joints are all over-engineered. He's got a single joint at the knee, which gets just past 90. The hinge at the foot can go forward and back. It looks as if it should be able to do a pivot, but it really can't. I'm not sure why they've made it that way. That sort of squared off section should really be rounded so that the peg has somewhere to actually go when you try to do it. But yeah, all in all, a decent little figure. I would almost say he's probably the best of the Dragon Ball Evolve line, because I've not had any parts sort of pop off or anything like that. I've heard some horror stories about joints being so loose that they fall off and things like that. But at the end of the day, it's a £10 figure. I'm not sure what else you're actually wanting out of him. But yeah, he makes a decent little spot on your display, as long as you can hide the fact that he's slightly smaller scale. But yeah, guys, that'll do it for this review. I'll see y'all later.